My husband is having brain surgery. Kyle is having brain surgery. And that is just so wild to say. It has been a week since we got this second opinion in Phoenix at Barrow Neurological Institute, and so many emotions have arisen. Just feeling so hope-filled and optimistic, and feeling like all the signs are telling us that we are making absolutely the right decision and we're exactly where we need to be. I'm feeling all that hope, but then I'll have little moments where fear will creep in and I'll have a thought of what if something goes wrong. And I keep saying to Kyle, I feel like I'm constantly putting out these little fires in my brain of like all these negative thoughts are like little fires, and that I need to like just get them put out before that they take hold and grow roots and override that hope and optimism we feel. And it's been such a practice of mindfulness and presence, of being like, I don't need to allow my thoughts to go there. I don't want my thoughts to go there. And truly watching those thoughts arise in any given moment throughout the day and putting them out. So it's been a lot of emotion, and so much has happened in the last week with Kyle having a seizure and not being able to find him, and the fear of wondering if he was okay. Also just planning the logistics of surgery. So when we were in the office with the surgeon, we asked when would surgery happen, and his assistant was like, we actually have availability next week. And we didn't want to move forward with that because he'd be having surgery this week, and that just felt like too fast and we need to figure out some logistics beforehand. But they called us after the appointment to schedule it, and they let us know that this week wasn't going to work for them either, because Kyle has to have quite a few pre-operative appointments with specialists prior to the surgery, and figuring out all of their schedules as well would make it a little more difficult. So Kyle is having brain surgery on September 12th. September 12th, just 17 days before his 20th alive anniversary, the day that he found out that he had brain cancer and was told that he had 3 to 6 months to live. He will have this tumor removed from his brain, and that is truly wild to me. So September 12th is the date. Our plan at this moment is we will fly down into the Phoenix area on the 7th, and Kyle and I are going to spend 2 days in Sedona, soaking in the healing nature that is that area. People describe it as a healing vortex, and we just had this intuitive hit that we'd like to have 2 days just ourselves in Sedona, soaking that in before all of the preoperative pieces start moving and our families fly in to be with us. If you have Sedona recommendations, let us know, because we don't have any plans. We just know that that's the plan, that we're going to go, where we're going to stay, what we're going to do. We haven't figured out yet. And then we have booked a full house in Scottsdale, just 5 minutes from where Kyle will be having surgery, for me and Kyle to stay at, along with his father, stepmom, his mom, and my parents are going to fly out as well. So it'll be a full house of all of the parents and us. And the last time we did that was our wedding. They all came out and they all got along so well. So it'll be fun to like have us all back together, and hopefully we can have a lot of joy in the moments prior and post surgery. We'll have a full day on the 9th to acclimate to where we're staying, and then the 10th everything begins. Kyle will have his consult with the radiation oncologist, because he will be the one ordering and administering the radiation seeds that are going to go in the cavity once the tumor is removed. And then he will have his pre-op IV given by his integrative oncologist that day, loading him up with all the good things that will help him in his healing and making him strong going into surgery. September 11th, he will have his pre-op consult with the plastic surgeon, so they can kind of figure out the game plan of what they're going to do so that they prevent any infection and things like that on the scalp, since he has very, very thin skin, because this is his 4th brain surgery. He's already had 3, and so his skin is really sensitive. And then the 12th at 4:45 a.m. we are going into surgery. And that feels so wild to say. I have so many emotions, but most of all, just feeling so hopeful and just certain that this is truly the best next step. And I am feeling many, many emotions about that. The plan is, if everything goes as normal, Kyle will have surgery. They're estimating about 5 hours as of right now. It could be longer. We don't know until the day of. And then if everything goes smoothly, he'll spend the first 24 hours in the ICU. That's their standard practice. And then the next 24 hours will be on a floor in a regular room in the hospital. And they only keep you for 48 hours if everything is going well. So that is the hope and the plan, that he'll be released after 48 hours, and then we will stay in Scottsdale till the 18th so that he has time to really adjust, and if anything arises, we're there for the next couple days and give him time before he has to get on a plane coming home. We decided that we'd get on a plane because we want him to spend the least amount of time in a confined area, and the drive from where we live to Scottsdale, there's a lot of stretches of road where there's nothing really nearby, and God forbid something happens, we don't want to be in the middle of nowhere. Kyle's not happy with that. He much would prefer to drive, but it makes everyone else feel safer, along with his care team, to go the route of flying. So that is the plan. It's kind of surreal that it's happening and that we have a date, September 12th. Tommy 2.0 is getting evicted from that beautiful brain of his, and we get to embark on this new journey of what is ahead. I'm feeling really optimistic about it, especially meeting with his integrative oncologist prior to the consult when we were in Arizona. She really filled us with even more reassurance that we're using the thing in our back pocket, but there is so much more that is in our back pocket, and by using this thing in our back pocket of having surgery, it's going to open up a lot of clarity and opportunity for what treatment looks like for Kyle, because we'll get genetic testing of this specific tumor in Kyle's brain, and that could paint a very different picture of what type of treatment he can receive and what different things will help target whatever is actually happening in that tumor, because we haven't known. We knew what was happening based on the genetics from his genetic testing on the tumor in 2016, but each tumor has a different profile and could show different information. And also genetic testing has improved since 2016. It'll be interesting to see what comes from that. The hope is, if we can make it happen logistically and financially, is that we will start going down to the Phoenix area once a month starting in October to see the integrative oncologist to get some of these treatments that will be specific to him that we can't get where we live. There are certain IVs and things like that that are not legally administered in other states, but there are different laws in Arizona that allow those things, and there's a lot more opportunity for alternative medicine and exploring that in the state of Arizona. So that is why we would be going down there, is for him to get treatments of high dose curcumin and different intravenous things of that nature. And with that, we've had so many people ask how they can help support us in this time and ask for a link to our GoFundMe. So if you are inclined to generously donate, there is a link in the description of this video and all previous videos to our GoFundMe if you feel called to make any small contribution to making this alternative care possible for Kyle post-surgery. But we also know in our bones, no matter what, we'll find a way. We continue to do that time and time again, that everything truly works out as it is meant to. There's a lot of moving pieces that are happening and things that we have to figure out still. And also, one of the big things that I'm figuring out is how to get our home truly so cozy and healing, so that when we come back from Arizona, Kyle and I have a place to really land and feel held and healed. And as a woman with ADHD, I start a lot of projects, but I get to about 90% and then don't finish them. So I'm trying to finish projects around the house so that, one, there's less clutter, the house is clean and organized, and we can just have peace of mind that the house is nourishing, which is really my game plan for the next couple weeks leading up to us leaving. And then we will also celebrate Kyle's birthday. He's turning 46 next week, which is wild. So many wild things happening. But most importantly, Kyle is having surgery on September 12th. That feels just like the biggest yes from the universe that I could ask for. It is going to be a truly eventful, juicy, movement-filled next couple of weeks as we prepare for going down to Arizona and getting Tommy 2.0 out of Kyle's brain. It's wild to me that I don't feel much fear at all. That I truly just feel this like peace of, yes, this is exactly the right decision. And all of the moments in our life keep pointing to that being so certain. And I'm just honestly at a lack for finding words to describe that like calmness, which feels just not what someone would feel in regards to your husband, the person you love most in this world, undergoing brain surgery. We both feel just peace. Peace with this decision, peace with what this next chapter brings. And coming home, we both just felt like when we come home, we are not coming back to the same life we had before this appointment. Even just coming back from the consult, we felt that. And I can't imagine how we're going to feel coming back in September with such a new horizon ahead of us, new possibilities. I'm just so grateful that Kyle will be here for many decades, and this is just a big step in making that possible. And we'll just keep taking those little steps every day after surgery to make that possible. Thank you for your love and your support and all of the good vibes you're sending our way. Healing is happening. As the sign that we saw walking out of the neurosurgeon's office said, healing is in the air.